How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk about stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. I also want to put in the disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor and this isn't financial advice. You just know when you do invest, you're doing it at your own risk. So today we're going to be talking about CTRM. And you know what's crazy? We spoke about this stock yesterday. But you know what? This CEO is definitely on a mission. So before we get started, you know I got to give you guys the agenda for today. So the first thing we're going to be going over is the recent press release that came out today. Yes, on April the 30th. Like I said, CTRM is on a roll right now. And I feel like if you're a shareholder, this is something that you need to know. But I'll give you a clue. They expanded the fleet even further. But anyways, the second thing that we're going to be going over is as well as the technical analysis. We're seeing where the price is at right now in regards to price action, seeing where the support and as well as the resistance is. I see a lot of potential in the stock to move to the upside. So watching that particular part of the video will give you a great strategy and a game plan. Then after that, we're going to be taking a look at recent institutional buys and as well as the short interest information. Yes, there have been updates since yesterday, and that's part of the reasons why it's included in this video. And as you guys don't know or you don't realize already, CTRM does come with a lot of short squeeze potential. So make sure you watch that part of the video. After all of that is done, you guys know I got to give you a lot of value on this channel. I'll be giving you guys my final thoughts. Let's get into it. So we're now on the official Castor Maritime website looking at their press releases, and as you can see, on April the 30th, they dropped it. Castor Maritime Inc. announces the en bloc acquisition of a tanker fleet consisting of 5 vessels. So let's get into it very quickly here. So CTRM, a diversified global shipping company, announces that it entered through 5 separate wholly owned subsidiaries into agreements to acquire 2 2006 Korean-built MR1 tankers, 2 2004 Korean-built Aframax LR2 tankers, and 1 2002 Korean-built Aframax LR2 tanker. The 5 tankers are acquired from an unaffiliated third party for an aggregate purchase price of $49.25 million. The acquisitions are expected to be consummated by taking delivery of the vessels in the second quarter of this year and are subject to the satisfaction of certain customary closing conditions. Pedros Patolitos, Chief Executive Officer of Castor: "We are excited to announce our largest purchase transaction thus far with the en bloc acquisition of 5 tankers. Since our entry into the tanker market earlier this year, we have managed to swiftly grow our tanker fleet to 8 vessels. Upon completion of all of our recently announced acquisitions, our fleet will consist of 23 vessels, establishing our company with a diverse fleet of 15 bulkers and 8 tankers. This diversification allows us to pursue attractive opportunities across different shipping sectors." This is great news for shareholders. Castor has definitely been on the run as of late as far as expanding their fleet, and I can't wait to see this being reflected on the balance sheet as we see earning reports come throughout the year. So we're going to be doing a technical analysis for CTRM Castor Maritime. So it ended up closing the day at 49 cents, being down 1.88% on the day. On the low, it tested 49 cents, and then on the high, testing 52 cents. So the one thing that we spoke about yesterday, I really wanted to see CTRM actually hold down 50 cents. It did end up closing a little bit below that, but at the same time, we're still at that 50-cent level of support, and that's a support area that I want to see continue holding up going into next week, and especially for the month of May. I do see some upside here. As you can see, the 21-day EMA is around 51 cents, but I do see sometime in May that Castor Maritime should be able to be testing around this 60-cent level, so right over here. We know that they did a direct offering at 65 cents. So taking this into consideration, it's just going to be a matter of time before we start seeing a big move from CTRM. As far as areas of resistance that we are seeing, we definitely have an area of resistance right here around this 52-cent level, and as well taking into consideration this area of resistance right here around 53, 54 cents, as well as 55 cents. And then also up here where we ended up actually testing it not for too long, right here around 58. Once we're able to break out of this 50-cent level, we could definitely look forward to seeing a strong move going into 60. And as you could see before, we definitely have a gap to fill right here. So if we're able to have a lot of buying pressure going into 60 cents, I would not be surprised seeing a strong move going right into 65 and then 70. We already know there's a lot of short interest in this stock, and it's part of the reasons why I see some heavy manipulation that is going on here, especially with some of the news that we've been receiving. And also taking a look at the 200-day, we're riding very well above that. We did break through the 21-day and as well as the 100-day, but again, like I said, I'm definitely looking for a gap up coming into Monday. If we do continue to have this bearish pattern, then definitely the next level of support to look out for on the pullbacks is right here around the 48-cent level, and also as well if it pulls back even further around this 46-cent level, and if it pulls back even further than that, right here around 45 cents. So I hope you guys found this helpful, and as you can see, even from the RSI, CTRM is definitely at a steal at the moment, but again, look out for those pullbacks if you're looking to get in at a better price. So we're now on fintel.io for CTRM, and we're going to take a look at recent institutional buys and as well as the short interest information. So as we scroll down on the page, you guys know green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. Like we confirmed yesterday, we know that institutions are definitely bullish for CTRM, but if we see as of April the 30th, we have Pasadena Private Wealth LLC purchasing 13,000 shares of Castor. So that is something to definitely take notice of, because again, this transaction went down today. So that is great to see. We've already covered all the previous ones, especially looking at, we have 28th Carmichael Hill and Associates going with a small position of 200 shares. So let's take a look at the short interest information. So as we take a look at the short volume ratio, we already are aware as far as the short squeeze potential for CTRM, it's definitely there. So the short volume ratio is at 39%. Anything above 21% looks really good for a short squeeze. Take into consideration the overall volume on April the 29th, we had about 76.9 million shares that were traded, and out of that total, almost 30 million of those shares were being shorted. As we scroll down on the page, short shares availability stands at 9.9 million, and as far as the short borrow free rate, which is fairly high at 8.73%. Taking a look at the history of the short volume ratio, wow. That's all I really can say is wow. It's been literally averaging, just by looking at this alone, around 39%. So definitely some short squeeze potential here for CTRM. So with increased demand and a lot of buying pressure, we could definitely get into that 65 cent range where they did the direct offering and go even further. But again, this is going to come down to having more volume and more demand in the market for this stock. So for my final thoughts for Castor Maritime CTRM, this is huge. They now have 23 vessels. They've been taking advantage of opportunities within the segment, and again, I just love what I'm seeing. They're definitely going to be killing it in the dry bulk shipping segment, especially as the economy begins to recover and get better. Another thing that we need to understand and realize on this channel, when we have stocks that we go long on, we want to make sure they have the KLTs. What does that mean? You got to be able to know the company, like the company, and trust the company. And from what I'm seeing with CTRM, this is great. The more they keep on expanding their fleet, this is going to be reflected on the balance sheet. What does this mean? We're going to be seeing better numbers in regards to earnings. So even though we don't see the changes in the stock prices right now, I just look at it like this. We're getting the stock at a great price. We know they did a direct offering at 65 cents. So the fact that it's priced right now at 50 cents, and I gave you guys those particular areas of support if it does decide to pull back, I see some potential in this play, and it's even better opportunity to get a really good cost average. In regards, because I know I'm going to get this question, so Dre, when do you think CTRM is going to be hitting $1, $1.50, $2? Let's first start off with the $1. So as far as $1 is concerned, I want to see that price within a year. Where it's at right now, it's definitely a lot of upside at 50 cents. If it goes to $1, that's literally a 100% gain right there. So I just want you guys to realize that. And even if it goes to 65 cents, again, that's another way that you have to make sure that you protect your profits. This is a penny stock. It is volatile, but at the end of the day, I like what I'm seeing from CTRM. I really can't complain. We also do know of the fact that the CEO benefits from expanding the overall fleet. So just taking that into consideration, I just feel like, you know what? He's not going to be slowing down anytime soon. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll be talking real soon.